A number of people who slept in their homes and woke up did not end up spending that night in their homes. They were taken from homeowners or having a place that they called home to being homeless and being in such a state of confusion as to what it was that they were going to do. Yes, we know that there had been a lot of actions and activities that had come, preceding that date, but that date became etched in all of our minds because it was a shocking situation. On the 21st of October, a number of people who slept in their homes and woke up did not end up spending that night in their homes. They were taken from homeowners or having a place that they called home to being homeless and being in such a state of confusion as to what it was that they were going to do. Yes, we know that there had been a lot of actions and activities that had come, preceding that date, but that date became etched in all of our minds because it was a shocking situation. My name is Lekki and welcome to another episode where we talk about all things real estate, how it is that you can invest in real estate, what's going on in the Nigerian real estate market, and how it is that you can also use real estate to create wealth. Today we're going to be talking about the instance where a lot of people in the Ikota area had their homes demolished by the Lagos state government, in particular the Ministry of Environment, where they came out with the agenda of clearing out things anything that they found that was literally blocking up canals, drainages, things that literally just stopped the free flow of water and had started to cause for flooding and flooded situations in residential neighborhoods. A lot of people who owned homes, as you will see in the video that is showing here, had actually started to live across all of these places. We found out that developers had actually gone and places that were supposed to be free-flowing water had then gone on to block off and cause for a lot of blockages so that the water was no longer flowing freely. All of these things caused a pain to the society, but then what was done had to be done from a lot of people's perspectives. But then it also caused all of us to come up with a lot of learning lessons. And today I'm not only going to be showing you a little bit of what's happened just so that everybody can understand the context, but also to have you understand what it is that you who wants to start investing in real estate or who wants to continue investing in real estate and you feel like you shouldn't because you feel like the system is just working against you. No, the system is not working against you. There are things that you can do, the steps that you can actually follow, and I am going to share all of them with you so that you can become a smarter investor. For now, take a few minutes to watch clips from different media houses that tells us the story of what happened and how we got to where we are.
It's very painful to watch my house go down when the people that are the developers, we can't even see them to even hear from them or know what is going on. So it's really very bad. It has absolutely affected me in every way. Because right now, like, where do you expect me to go? It's like I'm homeless. You get? It's very bad. Where do you want me to go? I don't have anywhere to go. My things are outside there for like 2 days now. I've had this since 2020, but I've just packed in 2 weeks ago. See how painful it is. Right now it's about 75.
75 million.
Yeah. It's very bad.
This is a map showing the Ikota area of Lekki. If you scroll in, you can see Ikota GRA down here. And if you're familiar with the demolition case that's currently trending online, you will know that the demolition happened somewhere here, just off Mobile Road here, beside Copra Mart, for those familiar with this area. And the demolition started from here and is going down to Ikota. But this is not the beginning. This is not where the story begins. Let's scroll down, right? Sorry. To here. You can see that this water channel, water body or canal, whatever I want to call it, commences from this place, just off Ogombo Road, not far from Ogombo Road, right? And from here, you see it goes down through this fire station at the end of Mobile Road, through Mobile Road, through Ikota GRA, and terminates inside this river behind West End in Ikota. And then it further goes, you can see that this water continues through Oral Estates, under that bridge at Ikota, that Ikota bridge, through VGC, and terminates into the Lagos Lagoon, right? As you can see up here, Lagos Lagoon. So that is the normal direction of water. That is how water is supposed to move to enable, to ensure that the area is appropriately drained. So all the drains in these locations all, converge in this canal and then flows into the lagoon as so. And you have the same thing in Orchard Road. You can see this somewhere in Okwaja. If you can look here, Okwaja community, you can see that this channel starts from here, goes down through Lafiaji to the back of Orchard Road. You can see Victoria Crest 4 here, into the same river at the back of West End. You can see Orchard Road here, see Mega One event place. So you have that same water body. They now converge inside this place to all get drained in the lagoon, in the Lagos Lagoon. And that is how it is all over Lekki and Lagos in general. That is the original plan. However, if you scroll down, you will notice something. You will see some constrictions, right? Some bottlenecks that have been created by people who build unscrupulously. Now let me show you a live drone view of what I explained on the map. So at the very beginning now, you see this portion of the canal has obviously been blocked. If you see the way the water is just stagnant at the top, you see that it has been blocked. Let's go down. All these rubbles you can see at the side here, they were all properties, especially this one. This one was still under construction. Everything demolished, about 20 terraces, everything demolished. All right. So have you observed the problem? You see this demarcation here, right? You see this demarcation here. That was what they narrowed the canal into. They basically turned the canal into a gutter. These other parts where you can see the water was done by the government agencies that are also doing the demolition. So as they are demolishing, they are opening up the channel. So how do you think this environment is going to be if or when this canal has been turned to a gutter? Let's continue. So you can see it very clearly how they narrowed it down. So as they demolish, the government officials now opening it up so that the water can flow freely. Both on the left and the right, properties along this route are going to go down for it. So now we are following the path like I showed you on the map down to the Kota River. So you can see that white canal. You can see how it has been narrowed. It has been narrowed and turned to a gutter. And this is not even the worst part of it. Let's go on. Perfect. So I don't know if you can see it. This is where the canal has gotten to, right? And this is supposed to be this area here is supposed to be the continuation. But can you see all these houses here they are comfortably sitting on top of the pathway of the canal? So the water comes here and stops. There's nowhere for it to flow, and then here it continues down to the canal. So all these houses here have been marked for demolition. So let's see. So you see over there, down there is the Ikota River. So everything was supposed to flow down into the Ikota River, but houses have blocked the channel. And these bottlenecks have now prevented this normal flow of water, right? So water cannot now flow as it's supposed to be and drain into the canal, which has now led to people of this community, the Maroko community, the Gedegede community, experiencing flooding. I'm going to show you the flooding situation in that area, right? I have the same thing in Orchard Road. They have the same channel. If for those of you familiar with Orchard Road, you know that you also have a flooding problem in Orchard. It's also part of the issue. You see this water body here, it now gets bottlenecked here. You see another bottleneck here. So when water doesn't have free channel to flow, it starts to settle on the surface where people are supposed to live. So now what the Ministry of Environment has basically done is to open up all these channels. If you look here now, you will see that even this house is on top of the canal. You can see that this is a structure. You can see that even the map recognizes that something has eaten into the let's say right of way of the canal. If you go further down here, you can see how this place has been narrowed down, so water cannot flow. So the the Commissioner of Environment is now trying to open up all these places so that water can flow. That is all that is happening.
Now that you have watched the video, you've seen the context, you've heard a summary of what happened. Now let's go into the lessons learned. Now, personally for me, I come up with a lot of lessons. I say this because I had a checklist for how it was that I would literally go through the due diligence for my clients. I had ways that I would advise my clients to do the due diligence. And if you had gotten my first book, you would also have a process that I shared about how it is that we should go about our due diligence. However, today, and seeing what it is that has happened, what has transpired, I go away from this situation knowing that there are some additional steps that need to be taken, and I'm going to include them into an updated checklist that you will be able to get when you keep watching till the end of the video. I'm going to tell you how it is that you can get it. But in terms of the lessons that have been learned is that we are all responsible for our actions. So you as an investor, you are coming in with money. It's your money, it's your sanity, it's your perspective that is going to be at stake, or what it is that you have to guard. And I say this with absolute honesty to say that we all have to be responsible for our own actions. In situations where you see that something that doesn't seem so proper or right is done, and you feel like asking yourself, why should you go into doing it? Just know that that is probably a red flag, especially when it comes to real estate. You've watched in the video how people who bought into estates, things that, it was initially, even for myself, it sounded so difficult to believe that people would invest and not have checked that they could actually be an estate there. But we've all seen the proof. Lagos State came out to say that these were drainages that were being blocked. And in that instance, when those things were happening, yes, they seemed right because it was a case of whatever it was that was happening at that point in time. But then years down the line, what happens? You as the person who has invested will be the one that will bear that loss. And everybody would move on knowing that, oh, you did it, there were contraventions, as the commissioner himself had said in the last video. So let us avoid these things and say we don't want to engage in things that are not correct, things that are not right, even when we're not sure if they are or not. And this brings us to one of the things that I keep repeating. Ask your questions. If your realtor or your developer is uncomfortable or gets upset answering the questions, please walk away. Walk away. I've walked away from deals. I've walked away from opportunities. Please walk away. It's not worth it. If you cannot verify, you cannot guarantee it, you cannot understand it legally, then please walk away. Have your lawyer always do your due diligence with you, alongside you, and go out and ask the questions. Ask these questions that are supposedly not so common. Yes, we know that in the Western world, there would be a website for the government where you can go in, you can punch in the details of the property that it is that you want to buy, and all of the information will come up. We don't have it here yet. But in that time, there are times and ways and places that the people who know where to get the answers from can go to. Your lawyer should be one of them. So please trust in your lawyer to be able to do that due diligence on your behalf, and make sure that at least you get some report of what it is and what's not. If you're uncomfortable, something doesn't feel right, please go look for something else. Now that gives us to point number 1. Point number 2 would be title verification. Till today, and I say this because I am personally still in shock. I don't understand what title it was that estate had, because no matter what the title could have been, it meant that even if there was a title which was global, which would essentially cover a general area, did that property get its approval? That should fall under the title, the legal compliance, and the legality for that property development happening there. Did that property have its approval? These are things that we should look out for. Yes, there will be instances where the approvals may not always fully be in place. Let's be honest and realistic with ourselves in Nigeria. This is something that does happen. But if you can at least verify that that is not contravening any environmental laws, then you should be able to go forward. Your builder should be able to show you where they have at least gotten the application to an advanced stage, even if it's not issued out in totality, but at least it has gotten to an advanced stage. They should be able to give you that. You should also be able to verify from the environment, is this a place that would be able to do that? So your title verification is again something that your lawyer could help you do, or something that even you yourself could even just start to do. Go to the Ministry of Lands and Housing, town planning offices, and you should be able to get any of all of these information that you would. Yes, you'd have to probably pay for it, which shouldn't always be, but yes, you just may have to pay for it. So you just have to make sure that all these things are things that are expenses you're doing to secure your own sanity and the safety of your investment. Another way that it is another lesson that I have also learned from this would be that community relations are much more important than we actually give them credit for. People who live or stay or work in the environment that you want to go and invest in, their say would always matter. You should be able to have somebody, and I say so have somebody because sometimes you going yourself, you may not be able to get the answers that you need, but get somebody that you trust. Third-party verification is what it's called in the corporate world, but get somebody that you trust to be able to go in there and ask the questions. Look for a community leader and say, oh, what's going on in this case? We were looking at, this construction of this project, and some people were thinking of going into it. What is it like? Is it something that that should be going on? Should you look into it? Those kind of things. Ask the people in the community. Ask the artisans that work. This is a common trait that a lot of us do. We go in there very casually and look like we're lost. And when we look like we're lost, somebody comes and asks you, yes, can I help you? And you say, oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. I just was looking and I wanted to just understand what was going on. And that way the person feels a bit more comfortable to say, no, this is where the person feels in control. So the person's going to want to braggadocio about what it is that's going on. And then the person will talk to you about how it is this, that's going on. And I say this because I'm literally recanting an instance that happened to me recently. I was going to go and check out a landed property that a client wanted to buy, and I just walked in there very casually, and the person, the security man at the gate, was like, yes, who are you looking for? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking for this, whether there's any lands that can be bought around here and all of that. And he said, oh, yes, come. Some people have been coming to come and check this land. I can call, I can give you the number of the person in charge, and this is I went on, I said, please show me, take me there. And he was very happy to do so. So I went in there very quietly and went in. I went to go and verify from that this is something that you can do. Now, you may say, do you have to jump through all these hoops and circles and boundaries and all of that? Unfortunately, yes. And it's either you do it or you make sure that your realtor or somebody that you can trust, again, would be able to do that for you. Something that I know that I'm able to do for my clients is to be able to go and do these things. I go and do them even for properties that I am not the one selling. It's called a verification. I provide my clients with a verification service, which means that you can give me the details. I go and I make the verification and I give you a report. My report does not in any way come as say, oh, that this, you must do this. I give you a report, I state the fact. Somebody should be able to do that for you, or you should be able to do that for yourself. In terms of lessons, these are some of the lessons that I've gained and I've learned from this whole situation, that are so important. For me, they were reiterated. For some of you, they may be new, but there is one thing that I think that we should add into the list. It would be the fact that 1, you must get the survey plan. 2, you can go and confirm what the master plan of the area is and ask your developer for this so that at least you know that you are also secured. And 3, it would be for you to use your senses. Just go in there, use your senses, and try to find out for yourself. Don't just take what it is that people say and assure you that all is well and all of that. Use your senses, go in there, check, double check, so that at least you know that when you do buy, you will know that, oh, I got my advice and I also went to check for myself, and you know that you feel a bit more comfortable.
Thank you for coming this far on this video. I hope that you've learned something valuable and you will be able to put them to good use. Watch out for the next part where I will be talking about the updated ways that we can avoid pitfalls of investing in a potentially to be demolished location, as well as to get the checklist that I talked about in the beginning of this video. Till then, bye for now.